What's going on, everybody? I'm Shane from Heads and Tails, and today we are going to be getting into breeding. A lot of people wonder, if they breed ball pythons, what setup should I go with? What genes should I be looking into? All of that good stuff. There's a lot of different levels to this and a lot of different directions you can go with your breeding projects. I think I'm going to start off with saying if I were starting off today with how the market is, I would probably end up going with white snakes. As far as a beginner, white snakes are a good way to start breeding ball pythons. Mainly because, for example, if you get a bell, like good old Frank here, or if we go with a pied, also albino, those are all really good for beginners because they sell well. So you don't have to have a big following of customers already built up. They'll sell well, and they sell to other beginners, so you can build your customer bases at the beginning by doing these. White snakes are probably the best route to go for a beginner. You could throw some banana in, but in all honesty, the beginners always love either bells, super fires, ivories, piebalds, albinos, stuff like that. All those snakes are going to be not only cheap to get into, but they're also going to sell well, and you're not going to get rich off of them, that's for sure. But you will be able to build a customer basis and actually sell snakes and get into it to see where you're going to be. Especially if you're doing shows. At shows, white snakes definitely sell real good. And then we get into, let's move on from there, from beginner stuff. You get into the more intermediate stuff. I'm going to break this down into 3 different levels, although there is like a spectrum within those levels. Each of those levels, there's different things. So I would say intermediate, I would start looking into building combos. Whether you're trying to go with a double recessive or a single recessive with a lot of combos, that's where you end up seeing a lot more clowns and stuff like that, is where people are really shooting for something there. But it is a bigger hit or miss type of thing, where if you don't get the combos right, those snakes might sit for a little bit before you can sell them. Whereas with white snakes, piebalds, albinos, they'll always sell. If you're making more risky stuff, double heads with possibles and stuff like that, and you got 3 or 4 codoms in the mix, you're getting into a finer market. It's a little bit more difficult. But that's also probably the biggest spot where it kind of gets the most fun, but it's also the most difficult at the same time. It's weird. And then of course you have the third tier, the expert breeders. They deal with basically both of the first 2 levels as well, but they're on to the next level of going quadruple recessives, or putting, triple recessive with codoms, and, they're getting into the newest genes, the most expensive genes that are out there, to try to make some new stuff, and we absolutely need them too, because they're guiding us along the way to see what the new cool stuff is. So I would say, honestly, the intermediate breeder is the most difficult, and yet kind of the most rewarding, because it's kind of like, playing roulette or something. If you win, you win big. So that's kind of my idea. So for 2024, I recommend, if you are a beginner, get yourself some white snakes. Start thinking about what you want to put into them, because once you start making those, you can also go into clown, and then you're going clown pieds, and you can get a lot of codoms and a lot of clowns right now. So it's a buyer's market out there, that's for sure. You can definitely start an awesome breeding project right out the jump. A few years ago, it was way too expensive to make as beautiful of snakes as we can make today for the same price. So It's pretty awesome. I would recommend starting with these guys if you're intermediate. You know, you start getting into some other stuff, Hypo, Clown, DG, Puzzle. Well, Puzzle's kind of the more third level, the third tier there. It's still pretty expensive. There's a lot of other genes that are along with it. But yeah, I hope you guys like the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you later.